Last week on an away meet at Florida, we were in a position where we had to execute at a really high level on the last event, being on beam. And so I think that was a huge moment of growth for our team to really have to be courageous, go big, hit at a high level. And so to be able to pull away with a win and continue to progress in our score was, again, a big moment of growth for us that we're going to carry with us going into Kentucky. This is going to be a big matchup. Kentucky is very talented. They continue to just get better week after week, coming off of one of the biggest scores in the country last week. So we are not taking it lightly. They're number 3 in the country, and we're working hard preparing to be able to continue to improve this week.
You just mentioned at Kentucky coming off a big score. What does that kind of say about the depth of the SEC now that maybe some teams in the past weren't considered national contenders are now number 3 and putting up scores like this week after week?
You know, gymnastics has continued to grow, and so the talent pool has grown. There's a lot of amazing gymnasts out there. I think we have more tools to be able to coach at a high level. We have more resources to be able to take care and manage our athletes better so that they're healthy week after week. And so it's anybody's game. Everybody's ready, everybody's prepared, and, you know, we just have to focus on what we can do to continue to improve.
Jordan just talked about door holder number 3 and kind of like the enthusiasm for those type of roles. How have you kind of seen her embrace that this year when she can't compete? And then maybe is that an attitude that kind of permeates throughout the team?
I love that she brought that up. That video has continued to be something that we circulate throughout the team where every role is important. And that goes back for me to my junior year where I was actually injured and sat on the sideline that entire year. Our team won a national championship that year, and I wasn't able to be on the floor competing. I sat in the stands. And so that perspective for me was the year that I grew the most as a leader, as a teammate, as just being able to see the bigger picture. And so we talk a lot about that as a team, where whether you're on the sideline, whether you're competing, whatever role you're playing, it's important and it's a difference maker. And Jordan has really taken a hold of that message, and she is the one that is encouraging on the sideline. She's the one that helping them prepare and be ready when it's their time to perform. She's been there, you know, in the lineups, and now she's able to see it on the other side. And I think it's going to help her grow. It's going to help her be better once she's back in those lineups again.
So this week is Be the Change meet. So what makes that meet so special and giving back to this community that's giving back so much to you all?
Yeah, during my experience, Sarah and David Patterson, they always emphasize being a champion in the community. And so coming back to this university, it was really important to me to just be a difference maker outside of the gym as well. And that's where the Be the Change meet was really born. And so we talk about the quote, be the change that you want to see in the world. And so what we've done is every week this year, our athletes have taken an hour out of their 20-hour requirement week, and they go serve in the community. And so some of them serve at elementary schools, some of them serve at different nonprofit organizations, and it's all about giving back to the community and being a difference maker. And so it's easy to talk about it, and it's another thing to really act on it and to invest that time. And so that's why we've just really made that a big deal on our team this year, that if you want to be your best you also need to be giving back and making a difference in other people's lives as well.
I'm curious about scores. I've been watching gymnastics scores for a long time, and they seem to be way higher now. Have been going up. Is that because the gymnasts are so much better, or are the scores maybe devalued now because they're so high?
So every couple years, gymnastics goes through some different rule changes where we actually do continue to raise the bar in terms of what the criteria is that's expected to go into the routines. So the execution, which is where like the deductions come from, that stays consistent from year to year. But what's required to go into a routine, it changes every couple years. And so that's why you may see, you know, some scores fluctuate from year to year just in looking at trends, because that criteria does adjust, not in a major way, but minor tweaks here and there. And some of that's due to the way equipment evolves. Our floor has gotten just it's a better surface now than it used to be, you know, maybe 10, 15 years ago. And so with that, we've adjusted some of the expectations that go into a routine. So that's why you may see some differentiation in scores.
Past 3 weeks, at least one event has had a season high score against top 10, top 8 opponents. What seems to be clicking with the team right now?
You know, I think what's clicking on our team is that the team is clicking. And I know that sounds crazy to say, but they really are locked in and bought in on the right things. And so, you know, last week, the team really wanted to beat Florida. They were super passionate. They were super fired up. And as a coach, that's always a little bit scary if you're focusing on the win and not on the right things to get to a win. And it was really neat to see while the team wanted that, they were able to be aware that that's not what they need to focus on. They've got to focus on the things they can control. They've got to stay invested in the process. And the leaders of our competition last week, Lily Hudson and Gabby Ladany, they really set the tone for that messaging and focusing on the right things. And so that's what you're seeing from this group. They're competing freely. They're really unleashing out there on the competition floor, and that's really due to the culture they're creating, how they're buying into the process, how they're investing in relationships with each other, and just really placing the focus on the right things.
Couple more? Do I have any? No? Coach, do you have any closing comments you want to add?
Just looking forward to a great matchup on Friday. Hope to see everybody out there. Again, be the change you want to see in the world. It's been near and dear to our heart, and we're just hoping to see everybody out here at Coleman and Friday night. Roll Tide.